I'm in Lalibela, thousands of kilometers away from London in a completely different continent surrounded by mountains. Now, this place is also referred to as the Jerusalem of Africa and was almost inaccessible for thousands of centuries. Now, this is what my journey is all about, unearthing mysterious gems. I'm Emmeline, and let's go off the grid. Lalibela is an ancient town known for its churches, which are now UNESCO sites. Now, these churches are separated into three different groups. You have the Northeast, the Southeast, and St. George, which is separated from the two. Now, today, I'm going to focus on the Northeast because it has some of the oldest church, and I cannot wait to see what they look like. Now, these churches were built by King Lalibela, a king that is surrounded by legends. Now, one of them says that when he was born, he came out and was surrounded by a swarm of bees. So his mother called him Lalibela, which means the bees recognizes his sovereignty. Now, another legend says that one of his siblings poisoned him, and whilst he was in a coma, he traveled up to heaven, saw God, who commanded him to build the holy city of Jerusalem right here, and that is why he built these churches. Let's have a closer look. Now, this church is called the Beit Mariam, meaning the house of the Virgin Mary. It is the oldest of the 11 churches in the town and also the most popular when it comes to pilgrimages. There are also two other churches. We have Beit Meskel just around the corner, which means the Holy Cross, and behind this one we have the Beit Denegal, which means the house of the virgins. Now, for a church to be considered a church in Orthodox Christianity, it needs to have a couple of things. First of all, orientation east to west. Secondly, it must have a minimum of 3 aisles. So you have this one here, which will be for the females, this one for the priests, and this one on my right for the males. Then we have this room here that will be for the choir. Then this one just behind me will be called the Holy, where most of the Mass is administered. And then the one behind the curtain is called the Holy of the Holy, where nobody is allowed to go apart from the priest and the deacon. And most importantly, if it doesn't have the replica of the Ark of Covenant in the Holy of Holy, it cannot be an Orthodox church. Now let me show you these symbols on the facade of the church. You see the 3 windows at the top. Now those represent the Holy Trinity. Just underneath we have the Latin cross, which signifies Jesus coming from heaven to earth. Underneath this arch, it almost looks like an upside down vessel, is the womb of the Virgin Mary. Just underneath we have the cross of Malta, which is Jesus on the crucifixion. And on both sides, we have the 2 men that were also crucified alongside him. But what is interesting is that this one almost has a hammer, as if he's going to hell. This one over here has the vessel going up, he's going to heaven. Now, what is interesting, though, is that these symbols would have been a way to convey the story without words. Wow. So you see this on my left. This would be the Mother Rock. And see at the top? That's where I should be standing. This is about 20 meters down, and they literally chiseled their way to get this church. I have no idea how they would have even done this because it's so smooth compared to this side. And you can really see, if you have a look, the chiseled marks on the side. But then to smooth it out and have these straight lines, I can just imagine the amount of work that it would have taken to get into this. And nowadays, a building is made from the foundation up, but this was made from the top down. So I'm just trying to get my head around having to make the structure, getting these pillars in place, and then digging down. This is a piece of history right here, and I can see even there. This is the bath where the holy baptism would have taken place. And I'm just trying to put myself back to those 12th, 13th century when they first carved this church and what it would have been like to have been there at that time. I can also see the tombs where they would have laid to peace the protectors of this church. It really feels like there's so much history in just this one location. Now, there's different school of thoughts as to how long it took to build not one, but the 11 churches that are in the town. Now, the locals believe that it took 23 years. Now, remember, this would have been built between the 12th to 13th century, only using a chisel and a hammer. So historians and archaeologists believe that it probably would have taken 40,000 men to complete the work. But the locals believe that that is probably not the case and that actually it was completed by divine interventions where archangels came in the evening to finish the work they had done in the day. Now, I don't really know which one is the right answer, and I don't really feel like it matters to me. I feel that seeing this in all its glory is enough. Now, you see this cross behind me. That is the Church of St. George, which was King Lalibila's final project. It's also believed to be the only church in the shape of a cross in the world. Now, the reason why it's separated to the other churches is because it's supposed to symbolize the Ark of Noah that would have been separated from the earth. Now, for me, I feel like this is my favorite. And if you look in the background, we have rays coming down. It's almost like the rays are shining and blessing this site. Oh, it's a really magical moment, but it's about to shut, so I need to go down. I can't miss this. I've really enjoyed my time in Lalibela. I feel like it's been a huge eye-opener for me to see what humans were able to achieve all of those thousands of years ago. If you come to Ethiopia, I would highly recommend this location.